All right, in this episode, we talk about
Bis and tries, baby.
for the pitcher. All right, Brent Porsu here, Stephen Godani, the at TopVelocity #Pitching Tips Show. Where you go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at TopVelocity #Pitching Tips. You ask your question, we answer it on the show. Steven, what are you doing, man? Are you doing arm care?
It's beach season, bro. If I don't do this, it's gonna be a total broconic collapse.
Whatever. All right, Steven's finishing up his workout. So we get started on the show. If you haven't heard about us, go to TopVelocity.net. Check out our programs, what we do here. And if you have a question for the show, we'd love to hear it. So like I said, go to your favorite social network, even Snapchat. Ask your question. We're going to answer on the show. Episode 100, we're going to open up to any baseball question. So if it's not something related to pitching, please ask that question as well. We'll get to it. So what's the next question for today? Mike O'Brien asks, are bicep curls and tricep extensions good ways to stabilize the elbow for arm care? So what do you say, Steven? Are bicep curls and tricep extensions good for stabilizing the elbow?
I do them every upper body day. I always do them. Yeah. Bis and tries, baby.
You don't do it for the ladies?
I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I did it for the ladies. Do it a little bit for the ladies.
So arm care, guys, yes, we could do bicep curls, tricep extensions, beach muscles, right? Big arms. I mean, we can do that and get a benefit of arm care out of it, because if we look at why the bicep, if anyone out there has had bicep soreness, tenderness, it's because the bicep is a big player in decelerating the forearm. So it helps when this turns over and pronates, this is what helps pull it back so it doesn't fly off. And there's also other muscles that continue to decelerate, but it's the closest one. It's connected to the forearm and it's a big decelerator of it. So strengthening that is going to be key, but at the same time too, I don't want to over-strengthen this and get a weak tricep. Triceps are important because when we're coming into internal rotation, we can add a little extension into release. It's the only moment we get extension before we back in internal rotation. So there's external extension velocity into our throws as well. So we can use the tricep for a little bit of added internal rotation or added arm speed on the ball. Now it's not going to be something that significant, but it will support it. And then it's going to also act as a decelerator. So sometimes you get that high tricep soreness as well. So both these muscles are big, of course, in the acceleration, deceleration of the arm, but also too in stabilizing that joint because they connect into that joint. So all these muscles from the forearm, the flexor mass, the biceps, triceps are going in that joint, kind of webbing into that joint. And when they squeeze down, they actually compress that joint. And in compressing that joint, you prevent it from wanting to, pull open like a chicken leg and have things like your weak little ligament in there, UCL tear. So it is important for protecting that elbow from wanting to just rip apart. So we should do, in our strength program, a good bicep routine, a good tricep routine, a good forearm routine, a good shoulder routine, good lat routine, good chest routine, good core routine. It's just going to go down the chain, but that is, we wouldn't want to stop in the shoulder. We will keep going through. So it should be in there. It shouldn't be overemphasized, but it should be a big part. Know too that all your push and pulls, bench press, lat pulls, pull-ups, hit the bis and tries as well. So you are getting a lot of work there with them, but you can add on added curls and extensions. I would definitely recommend that. Anything you want to add to it?
Yeah.
With your program and what you've experienced?
Yeah, well, when David's here training, David, he has really, really pussy bicep muscles. So he really likes to hit the biceps. So we'll do 21s where you just kind of go like through 7 and then 7 and then all the way up.
Yeah, so 7 half or 7 first half, 7 second half, and then full 7.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
That's 21.
Yeah, so we do that, and then after that we'll do 55s, and then go to the tricep extension pull downs and literally just kill it on that. Try to equal it with how much bicep we do. So we do a lot of the bicep tricep stuff, not at like super heavy weights, but just a lot of volume, just to really build it up, build them strong, and obviously it's going to make it a little more appealing to the eye for the ladies.
And I'm concerned, well, it's funny, it does bring up a funny story. I trained with Dan Maselli, played in the bigs for over 10 years. And he was always funny. I'd see him doing bis and tris, and I'd say, why are you doing that? There's a reason for you doing that for pitching? He goes, no, I just want to look good naked. But which, you know, there is that part of it too, right? So I don't want to ignore the other reasons, right? But basically, the other thing I was going to say too is that you do want to be careful. Everything's integrity. You know, if I get you're building hypertrophy or hypertrophying that bicep, that tricep, that forearm is going to add more weight in this arm. Okay, so your shoulder is going to have to be strong enough, your lats, your pecs to support that as well. So the point is I would like to know I'm pushing and pulling a ton of weight before I try to get my bis and tris and forearms really big and strong. I just want to know that my shoulder, my upper body's strong enough, my scaps are strong enough to hold the weight on my arm, specifically when I'm throwing it at high speeds. So do know if I'm just sitting here not doing a lot of pushing and pulling, but I'm doing bis and tris, could be adding weight, putting more load into your shoulder joint. So understand the whole body's connected and that it all should be built together, and piecing it and not knowing how those pieces are functioning together can become a problem. So that's why sometimes it's better just to have a good push and pull routine and then just add in some biceps as opposed to having a full arms day, you know, or whatever, because that might be too much that might create dysfunction in the system as opposed to creating a functional system.
I almost think it's the bis and tris and the forearm routine as it's just like secondary stuff,
right?
Compared to your big lift, like a bench press, and then back stuff, and then all that bicep, tricep, forearm rolls. That's all just complementary to building the bigger picture.
Yeah. So that peripheral kind of comes at the end. Make sure that you're spending up front your energy, your time, your effort, and your big stuff, push and pulls, and then you can work into that stuff. So that's a good question. If you have a question, go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at TopVelocity, #PitchTip. Ask your question. We'll answer on the show. Get back to your bicep curl.
No, I'll hit it.
And if you haven't been to TopVelocity.net, go to TopVelocity, check out our programs. We have the ABCA convention coming up in Nashville, January 7th to 10th. Love to see you there. Go ask your question, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah. Hold on, we them boys. Hold on, we them boys.